More baseball talk too, but now Canada's national summer sport. The St. Catharines Junior A Athletics regular season begins Wednesday night at home, Canada Games Park, and this season is a big one.
Everybody's talking, the buzz ain't just a beer. Radio man keeps saying, this could be our year. Huddled up headlights, team colors cross the lawn. Don't matter where you're coming from, we're here to get it gone. It's that hometown crowd, yeah, it's in our blood. And even when the clock runs out, we still raise the cup. It ain't about that hat-trick home run or big first down. Just looking for a little something we can rally around. Are you in or are you out? Ain't about seat in the house, courtside or on the couch, we still get loud.
Welcome to Iroquois Park Sports Center, game number 6 of the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League semifinals between the Toronto Beaches and Whitby Warriors. Beaches winning 9-4 on Monday evening to make this a potential elimination game. You see them there in their blue uniforms with yellow shoulder caps. They'll work left to right in this first period off the visitors' bench, led by Riley O'Connor, and working away from Thomas Kizek. No lineup changes for the Beaches from the team that won 9-4 just a few nights ago. In the other side, white uniforms on the home bench for the Whitby Warriors, as their season is on the line and the careers of 10 young men, 10 graduating seniors on this Whitby squad, 12, on this Whitby squad, 10 for the Beaches. Not one of those Tyden Redlick, the goaltender, although Jack Oldman, one of the best draw takers in the league, is on that list of 12. I'm Matthew Garrick in alongside the JVI Sports Network presenting Ontario Junior Lacrosse League semifinal action. Also tonight, Game 6, Orangeville Northman in Peterborough with a chance to close that one out. That'll get started about a half hour from now. Little John had that one skip off his stick. Lucas Littlejohn, the OJLL points scoring leader and the captain of the Warriors. His first offering bounces wide. Had just 1 point in the 9-4 Beaches victory. The first one here in the series, won by the home side. Liam Aston will work it back for the Beaches. Luke Robinson postures up on him. Pass back up top. Ethan Lee taken down, but Robinson comes away with the ball. That was Willem Firth tangling with the high defender. Firth, a 6-point performance, 3 goals, 3 assists, back in game number 5 after he exploded for 11 in game number 5. In 4, in this building. That part of an 11-9 Beaches victory. Tyler Francis Renner picking up. He'll give it back to Willem Firth. Firth passing to the outside. Aston brings it down, turns and shoots. Early save made there by Redlick. Your officials, Sean Grenier, Mark Thompson, Kyle Coulter. Here in this pivotal matchup in this series, Max Weatherup. What a series he's had. Out to the far side, Gabriel Soroketti. Only Whitby player with multiple points. Back in game number 5. 2 assists as his initial pass bounces off the dasher and up at a play. Chase Smith backing his way in. Josh Mills coming off a 4-point game. Playing it to the far side, Hunter Lubinecki. He was the overtime hero in game number 2. Now back for Firth. Had it taken out of his stick as he tried to come over the top of the pile. Picked up by Whitby. They'll get to Ethan Lee back at center on the run. Max Taylor couldn't pick up cleanly, still having trouble with it, and now gets knocked off the ball by Jack Warnarski. has been near lethal in transition, nearly turned that into numbers for the Peaches, but Josh Mills will play it back to Francis Renner. Hamish McPherson back into Firth here. That one skipped off a body, so retreating outside, and Josh Mills picks up right where he left off, opening the scoring here in game number 6. Some good work being done on the boards there. Back to Mills, who just postures up and shoots past the defender, Cal Brennan. Picking up the assist as Oldman wins another faceoff. He's going to go straight down the middle. Looked like he was going to shoot. Although it'll be bounced back. He got knocked out of the play. Giving the ball here to the Warriors with a fresh 30 seconds. Josh Mills coming over at the trade deadline to the Beaches from the New Westminster Salmon Bellies, and Cal Brennan coming from Kitchener-Waterloo, connecting on the first goal. Ryan Langiel, graduating player here for Whitby. Some good work on the boards. Ends up getting a good shot away, and Kaisick gonna stand his ground as that one was underneath him somewhere. Wojnarski through Firth. Josh Mills has it again. Firth now the captain. That's Owen Lee playing high defense on him. Over the shoulder from Mills. Rebound. Bounce right back to the side of the crease. Beaches arguing for a shot clock violation. Or excuse me, a reset of the shot clock. But that one up and out of play. Justin Hewitt clearing center. He'll give to Soroketti. You see the light blue gloves for Soroketti. Ty Gesso, Little John scampering away from the restraining line. Little John still with it. And got past a moving screen from Gesso. So turnover here as Caden Hewitt leaves it for Lubinecki. Francis Renner. Back to the boards, McPherson. Firth from his wrong side. He'll play it down. Lubinecki. Off of Redlick and in. Hunter Lubinecki, a step on his man, and the Game 2 overtime hero has made it 2-0 for the Beaches. Looks like a bit of a nothing play. Cromer lost his man initially, and then coming back and looked like he was set, but perhaps Redlick wasn't. That goes off his arm and finds the back of the net. 2-0 already here for the Beaches. Chance to end the series here tonight and advance to the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Finals. Little John to the corner, Weather up. He'll work around a pair of screens. Weather up kind of reminds you of a Lucas Littlejohn when he first started coming up and into his own. Back in around that 2022 season where Littlejohn played out the back door, front door, transition, whatever was asked, and has grown and matured into an offensive force for this Whitby team. Over 100 points in his swan song season. Would love for it to continue at least one more game. He'll pass here to Oldman. Jack Oldman out to the outside. Big high step Matthew Ford. Out in the middle, Ty Gesso wasn't ready for the pass, despite being wide open on the front of the crease. Wojnarski crosses center. 5.5 minutes gone in this first period. 2-0. Beaches up early. Mills. Out to the outside. Aston tries the same move Lubinecki did to score. This time Redlick makes the stop. Owen Lee pushing transition. forced a shot that maybe he didn't really have an angle on, and it went high off the end glass. Beaches only have 8 to clear center. They do. Josh Mills being chased now by Lee. Firth to the outside. Francis Renner bouncing around near the face-off circle. He'll cut back in through the middle, looking 5-hole on Redlick. He was down to cover all angles. Luke Robinson clears the line. We'll leave it for Lucas Littlejohn. Julian Belair, his first touch of the evening. From Littlejohn, far side. Tryson Stewart finding a cutting on the near side back. Soroketti, what a stop from Kazik there. Sent him to his backside. Nifty play from the Warriors and well defended Kazik. Saskatchewan Rush draft pick. Firth to McPherson, out to the outside. A nice little bounce back move from Aston McPherson, trying to one-hand it in front of Redlick, the NLL property of the San Diego Seals. Weatherup leaving for Littlejohn. Max Weatherup leaves the floor. Ryan Langill comes on, as does Trayson Stewart behind him. Outside rip. Langill, that will hit the goaltender. Rebound picked up. Littlejohn, they go across to Stewart. Quick move. In on the crease, but nothing doing. Caden Hewitt. To Mills off the bench, and Firth following him. It's turned into a pretty powerful 1-2 punch. Firth to the net. And eventually into the crease for the violation. That's all meant that Caleb Tatarek, the lefty draft choice. Here's Oldman working back and scoring. Jack Oldman gonna do it himself in transition. Normally we see him take it off the face-off, but he'll go end to end here. Snaking his way through the defense. And even though Kazik stepped up to meet it, I'm not sure he could see around the big body of Seth Martineau. Another one of those trade deadline acquisitions, that big trade between Beaches and KW. Martineau in his final season of Junior A lacrosse. Oldman wins this face-off. Soroketti shoveling it back to Langill. He postures up against the defender. Ball not going to roll far enough for Weatherup to pick it out of the crease. Warnarski down floor. Had to wait for that one to stop rolling. In the meantime, McPherson is out there. Minute 15 away from the halfway mark of the period. Beaches lead 2-1. McPherson's shot high over top of the net. Off the backboards late in the shot clock now. It's going to expire as Whitby content to just posture up on the 2-on-1. Shots favoring the Warriors, 7-5, despite trailing by 1. In the goal column, Lucas Littlejohn. Cross floor, Stewart. Through Ford to Littlejohn, Stewart again. Ford's open on the crease, he scores! Boy, oh boy, Matthew Ford is fun to watch, isn't he? Fitting in quite nicely with all of these veteran players. A somewhat surprising youngster picked up at the trade deadline. Slips off a pick, oh boy. No challenge flags here in the OJLL, and might be a good thing for the Whitby Warriors. Of course, we only have the one angle, so tough to see what the corner cam would say. But regardless, 2-2. And right away, Caswell Freeman picking it up. Headed down floor by himself. Didn't get a lot on that shot. Cal Brennan recovers the loose ball. Being worked over by Max Weatherup. Here's Firth. Round a screen from McPherson. Owen Tapper knocked off his boots. Called for the interference call. Ethan Lee. To Langill. Soroketti to Gesso. Last time we were here, we had a mystery 16 out there. It was Ethan Lee, who had an issue with his normal jersey and had to switch to the backup. This ball bounces up and into the Beaches bench. They'll get the restart with a lot of coming and going over there. Now Mills bouncing to Firth. We are in the back half of the period, tied 2-2. Whole series has been tight outside of perhaps game number one. I think Beach is a little shocked. 10-3 by the outburst from Whitby. Eddie Faraday, another grad, will flip back to Little John. Ever since then, been a number of tight contests. Stewart was working to the crease, tried to go quick stick with Gesso, and instead it flips up and into the safety netting. Tryson Stewart, Lucas Littlejohn assisting on the Matthew Ford goal. One-on-one outside, Firth will roll this in. Looks like not much of a play from Willem Firth, but he doesn't need much. You kind of saw when he was one-on-one with Oldman, it was probably going to end bad news for Whitby, as it's often done for Firth. In the back of the net again, and been a while since I've done a game where both goalies have assists. And I don't actually remember the last one where it's happened in the first period. Tyden Redlick assisting on the opening goal from Jack Oldman for the Warriors. Kazik and David Peterkin getting the apples on Willem Firth's goal here. 11 points back in this building the other night, a career best, tying a career best. And what a tremendous career. Probably going to go down as could crack the top 10 in Junior A scoring. Max Weatherup from outside. This one will bounce back. David Peterkin, not a full breakaway, but Kalen Mander trailing. Shot to the foot there of Redlick. Can't fault Redlick for what he's done on breakaways here in this playoffs. He was facing about 3 a game for sure in that St. Catharines series. And it's been more of the same here against the Beaches. Little John, there was room. Looked like just under the right glove of Kazik. That shot just missed off the arm and then back to the corner, where it's broken out of the rugby scrum by Toronto. Aaron Eberhardt. Back to Francis Renner. 7.5 to go in the period in which Beaches lead 3-2. Mills and Firth playing catch. Through Aston to the corner. Francis Renner wheels around a screen. Bouncer. Redlick not sure where it was. It was in his feet. That's where Robinson finds it. Little burst of speed to get up to the restraining line. Cross floor pass. Stewart back to Oldman. A little stutter step. He wants to break through again. Put it to the crease. Gesso, a few fakes. Then the pass to Stewart, I think, surprised him a little bit. Looked like they did get a shot and be forced to take another one from Oldman on the run. Latest offering does beat the shot clock, but everyone had already headed off to the bench. That just showing is the 9th shot on goal for Whitby. Redlick to his right nicely. Took that one off the throat guard. Official gonna check. Redlick nods his head, he's good. Max Weatherup. 1-on-1. He'll pass it back for Soroketti. Whitby slowing things down, giving off to the offense here. Langiel spins back. Langiel still with it. Fired it right off the shoulder there of Kazik. Went back looking for a rebound. That was caught under the big summer stick. Now Seth Martineau. Posturing up against pressure. Didn't look like there was much from Langiel, but the stick is caught in the face mask of Seth Martineau. I think one of the shooting strings. Didn't think that was much of a check to pop it out of the stick, but a weird one. Ford to Little John. Looking back for the cutting Stewart, who may have taken a hit. They look to put Mander back in the crease. Warnarski with the stop sign. Closing in on the final 5 minutes here of this first period. Action-packed and fast-paced, as has been the whole series. Willem Firth over top of Owen Lee. Back for Mills. He's got a lane. The twister. Looked like there was just enough space in between the left leg, or left arm rather, and the post of Redlick, but ball didn't quite find it. Taylor. To the far side, Soroketti. Bounce shot off Redlick, or excuse me, Kazik, who I think was trying to signal the official for a stoppage. Wants to check his mask. Big battle over this ball, and it was all on the Beach's clock. They're going to get an 8-second violation, and Kazik will get a chance to check his mask here with 4:36 left to go. Riley O'Connor, you can see him signaling draw ball, but this gets restarted because of the Beach's 8 count. Despite the fact that the ball was loose, it was coming to Whitby. Little John through Stewart, outside Ford, shrugs off a check. Fakes the shot, gives to Little John off a couple windows and bounces right back. On the run, Zach Vanderwall. Defender got out there quickly, and Vanderwall and Owen Lee shoving after the shot. Luke Robinson will clear the center line. Oldman and Little John playing catch with it. Langiel back in towards the corner. Low shot, Robinson, who stayed up to take an offensive shift. Oldman to Little John, spins back. Julian Belair couldn't handle it. Belair to Little John, skips that one in. Langiel has eyes for the loose ball, and it just rolls a little too far from Robinson, but did so thanks to being pushed back in the crease by the Beach's defender. Third straight 30-second clock for Whitby, who may have had too many men on the floor. Langiel back across here for Little John. Lot of floor for Tryson Stewart to work with. Takes it straight as the seas parted. That allowed Kazik to see it. When he sees it, he can usually stop it like he did there. Martin Odemander. Along the boards, Firth. 3 minutes left here in the period. 3-2 Beaches. Francis Renner trying to flip that back up top. Firth on his horse. Catches up to it right back at the logo. McPherson to Firth. Ben Cromer still on Willem Firth. Ball's going to pop free right at the shot clock. And Owen Lee sends it back down. Facing 3, now 4 Beaches defenders. He'll slow things down. Max Weatherup to the corner for a high-stepping Matthew Ford. No room to work as Aaron Eberhard is on him. Back to Little John at the side of the crease. Fake low, went high. Kazik was also there. Weather up to Ford. Closing in on the 2-minute warning. Little John, backdoor Stewart, a couple fakes before putting it behind Kazik. We're tied again. Tryson Stewart just kind of gets lost. All the attention was paid to Ford, then Langeal crashed in, and I think Beach has lost control of how many white jerseys were out there. Stewart will put it behind Kazik to tie this one up 3-3. Little John with another point, his second of the night. As we continue to track the points battle between him and Willem Firth in this series. The two overage captains, the two absolutely offensive superstars. Two of the best in the business, at least in this province and at least this year. Oldman to Weather up. Outside for Soroketi. Bringing it back to Oldman. Still out there with the face-off twig. Weather up will set the screen. Soroketi bouncers in! Gabriel Soroketi from the outside. Beats Kazik, and Whitby have their first lead of the evening. You can tell Oldman did not want to shoot with that face-off stick, because every time he had it, looked like there was a lane, and continued to pass. Soroketi works to the top of the set, and a bouncer that just fools Kazik. And makes it 4-3. Owen Lee to Little John off the bench. When the Warriors have been good in the playoffs, it's when they've been able to put runs together. 3 or 4 goals in 2 or 3 minutes. Kind of sense momentum shifting their way here, especially with the, oh my goodness, Stewart in front of the crease. Kazik sprawling down and out, flailing. And did Stewart miss the net, or did Kazik come up with a miraculous stop? Last minute here of the period. Josh Mills with Lee on him. Lee gets picked out of the way. Out to the outside. Aston spins back. His shot down low on Redlick. He'll cover up. Ball remains in the Whitby crease, allowing Oldman to pick up. Firth trying to cause an 8-second violation. Oldman busts through. Got the shooter stick out now. Little John. Whitby got this possession with about 40 seconds left in the period. Going to take the shot clock all the way down, you would imagine. Little John Soroketi to Ford, who backs up. Still not going forward. He'll give to Oldman, who cuts through. Twister. And just can't beat the shot clock. And Riley O'Connor is going to call timeout with 9 seconds left to go here in the period. Trying to tie this one back up. First game of the series, won by Whitby 10-3. Then Beaches here in game 2, 6-5 of the overtime game that you can see here in the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League archives. 9-6. Back in Pickering, Whitby won that one. And then Beaches here 11-9 on Sunday evening. 2 nights ago, Beach has become the first home team to win with a 9-4 victory out in Pickering, forcing this game number 6 situation a must win for the Whitby Warriors to extend the careers of 12 of their veteran players. We wait the start of Peterborough Orangeville tonight as well. scheduled to start at 8 o'clock in Peterborough, an 8-7 game in Orangeville the other night, forcing this one. Firth playing it back. They get it to Mills. No time for a shot as Whitby stepped up defensively and initially had knocked down, I believe that was McPherson, back to the restraining line and probably blew up whatever play Riley O'Connor had drawn up. Definitely had not drawn up a 4-3 Warriors lead after one. Whitby playing here at home for their season and for the careers of 12 of their graduating players. We'll see if they can extend this series to a game number 7, which, by the way, would be played tomorrow evening if both of these series end up in that direction. And if Orangeville are to host a game number 7, our crew will be there for that game at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. Be sure you're subscribed here to the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League YouTube channel, which is where all the action will be throughout the playoffs, including heading into the final series, which we hope to do as much as we can. Question in the chat of the Orangeville game. Officially, the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League not doing that. I did hear rumblings that maybe the Orangeville Facebook page would have their own. I believe Orangeville streams on YouTube. If you've got some way that you can watch both of these at the same time, please check your data usage accordingly and use it responsibly here this evening. Pair of game 6s, pair of potential eliminations. Here on a Wednesday night in the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League, we're going to take about a 9-minute timeout from here in Whitby, where the Warriors lead 4-3. You're watching the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League semifinals on Decision Day here in Ontario.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
Welcome back to Iroquois Park Sports Center. A 4-3 lead for the Whitby Warriors. They take that off 22 shots. Just 12 shots in the period for the Beaches, but 3 of those finding the back of the net. They were up 2-0. And then 2 goals in 1 minute and 23 seconds for Whitby through the middle portion of the period. And then in the final 2 minutes, having a pair of goals in 24 seconds. At the time, it was 3-2. And then that made it 3-4, or 4-3, I guess, in favor of Whitby, who played a ton of lacrosse. Remember, it was only about a 1-day absence between that 5-game set with St. Catharines that went the distance and this one here. Willem Firth bouncing this one just past the net, and it could only be maybe 1 or 2 days max, depending on when this series ends. If Whitby win, it'll be a full 7, and then pretty much looking at probably 1 day off. Little John Soroketti. Such is the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League playoffs. Bel Air through Little John. Langeal, low shot, skips in on Kazik, who's now taking up residence in the net to our right. Caden Hewitt clears center. He'll play it to the far side. On his toes, Firth. Passing here to Cal Brennan. Nowhere to run. Brennan over the top to Firth. McPherson working there to throw a pick on Weatherup. He just ran away from it. Shot in on Redlick. Rebound. Eventually finds the stick of Eddie Faraday, the graduating defender from the Oakville Buzz. Trade deadline pickup. Ford through Gesso. Outside Little John. Weatherup coming to set a screen on his 10 counterpart Warnarski. Little John's pass to Weatherup just missed. Outside rip Soroketti. That one goes wide and sent up into the stands from Weatherup. David Peterkin. He'll cross center. Now for Mills. Lubinecki outside Firth. High stepping again over the top. That shot missed to the side of the net before bouncing up and into the rafters. Owen Tapper. Back to Little John. Him and Tapper playing catch. Across the restraining line. Tapper now wants to cut through. Low shot. Signaling for the over and back. Won't get that far. Oldman with it. Now Little John with under 10 to shoot. Lucas Littlejohn passing through to Oldman. Kazik stepped up to the top of the crease. And then while stepping back to get on the line, ball was down in his feet area. Dangerous play. Caden Hewitt to Zach Vanderwall. Cross crease pass. Aston looking for the cutting Firth. And Redlick came over for a good stop. Luke Robinson in transition back the other way. Low save made by Kazik with the big summer stick. Game opens up a bit here. Peterkin cross to Firth. Willem Firth, Liam Aston. Mills back to Firth again. Defender falls in front of Willem Firth. Aston shot saved by Redlick. Liam Aston to Willem Firth. 3.5 gone in the period as they'll settle it down. Brennan and Lubinecki now. Beach is extending this offensive set. Over the top behind the back move from Wills. Goes to Firth, who's double teamed. And the pass back behind the net. Upset by Justin Hewitt. He'll leave it for Robinson. Once again, going to clear center. And the Cornell product heads off. Soroketti. Looking down low, bouncer, 5-hole. Gabriel Soroketti, second of the game. And back-to-back goals for number 8. The pass was on the stick and in full motion that entire set as he ran his way past the defenders. But then at the last second decides he's going to shoot and may have caught Kazik off guard. As it beats him, 5-hole. Next shot from Oldman off the face-off goes right back in that direction. This time, Kazik with the save, trying to bomb it down floor to Warnarski. Had a step on his man. Peterkin. Off the bench. Mills for Firth. Defenders lost his stick, can only shove Firth back to the restraining line. Can Owen Lee, who will go back to set up, and good job done by Lee. That one bounces up and near the timekeeper's box. Owen Tapper. 5 minutes into the period. Littlejohn to the outside boards. Ford through Belair. Littlejohn. Jesso falls far side. Stewart for Littlejohn again. A bouncer. And the Warriors may do well to go back to the 5-hole of Kazik. Last 2 goals headed in that direction. Aston into Seth Martineau, all alone on the crease. One of the more unlikeliest of goal-scoring sources. No disrespect to Martineau, the graduating normally defensive-minded big man, but those are the types of goals that can rally a team. Part of that big trade with KW, along with Cal Brennan, Noah Candy, who hasn't played in this series. All those grads coming over. Noah Candy, former first overall pick from 2 years ago. In a year that KW actually traded 2 former first overall picks, including Clark Dunford to Burlington, the 2023 first overall selection. KW swept by Orangeville in the first round. Beaches disposed of Mimico in 3 games. Whitby needed all 5 to get past St. Catharines, and now we're actually on the ropes for the final 2 of that first round series. Gonna need to play for their lives again. Not just today, but tomorrow as Firth cuts through. Bouncer off the goaltender. Rebound picked up Martineau. Mills and Brennan assisting on his most recent goal. Latest chance. Stumbled Redlick, just the 4th goal in the career. The now 50-game career of Seth Martineau. Ryan Langio facing a triple team late in the shot clock. Still going to get it to Soroketti. Can he shoot? Only a couple seconds left, and it rolls out of the stick of Soroketti and into the Beaches crease. What a job done, though, by Langio, taking on 3 Beaches defenders back. In that corner area, Firth. Down through the corner, wheeling over the top. Francis Renner now returns it to his captain. Firth. Bouncer to the feet of Redlick. Kicked out in the corner. First one there was Owen Tapper. He'll secure it for Whitby. Just over 2 minutes away from the halfway mark of the period and regulation. 5-4 Whitby lead. Soroketti trying to extend that. Outside Littlejohn through to Belair with one hand on his stick. Just missed the pass as he was cutting through. Kazik to Peterkin to Winarski. Just that fast, the ball across the timeline. Josh Mills. Initially mishandled it. Now Firth. Back to Liam Aston. He'll shoot through traffic. Rebound bounced off Redlick right to Oldman, and then Lubinecki dumped in front of the crease. Gonna turn away transition. Oldman and Robinson had taken off, and Littlejohn was about to step out the front door. Firth to the outside. Lubinecki back to Firth. Going cross floor. They did get the shot away, but Redlick making the stop. Mills. Lubinecki directing traffic. Wants Francis Renner all the way outside. Lubinecki will crash in now. Mills for Firth. A lot of movement through the middle, including Aston. Mills on the run. Low shot handled by the Whitby netminder. 9 minutes gone here in the period. Shots now 29-20 in favor of Whitby. Soroketti perhaps looking for number 30. If it's to come, it might be from Littlejohn. Just missed high over top of the net. That sent Mark Thompson, the official, running for cover. Soroketti does indeed get shot number 30. Although it was an easy one deep in the shot clock. Kalen Mander, the Calgary Roughnecks product. Playing it back here through Caden Hewitt. And Brennan to Firth. Willem Firth around McPherson. To Liam Aston, back for Firth again. Aston from the line. Shot that was dropping towards the feet of Redlick. Picked out by Tapper. He'll play it back to Littlejohn, who stopped up. Shot bounced wide, though. Langiel now chasing down Wynarski. Ryan Langiel and Seth Martineau collided with each other. Martineau, 2 goals this season. Give him 3. His third coming tonight. All 3 of them here in this series. Tyler Francis Renner through Mills. Firth. Round to Martineau's screen. Now around Mills as well. Dumped just before he got to the red carpet. That put him in, the orange turf. Yes, the New York Riptide turf down here at Iroquois Park Sports Center. Thanks to the Brooklyn Lacrosse Club, Brooklyn Merchants. We're hosting the President's Cup. Stewart over the shoulder. That one not even close. Belair. Littlejohn didn't miss by much late in the shot clock, and then Littlejohn got tangled up with Peterkin. Or it's going to be Soroketti who's going to come off our first penalty of the game. And there's going to be an extra one as there's extra yelling off the bench. Sean Grenier tacking on an unsportsmanlike deuce. So a glorious opportunity right now for the Beaches. Because the unsportsmanlike penalty came off the bench and wasn't Soroketti, the initial penalty, high sticking. It means that there's 2 and 2 going on the board. Close to 700 watching this game live, although Jamie Archibald counts for 2 of those. 2 phones going, he says. Thank the dedication and the interest in the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League. First power play of the game for either side. A 5-on-3 setting up for the Beaches. Quick stick. Cross crease didn't work. Broken up by Tapper, who brings it across center. 5-4 here at Whitby. Orangeville leading 3-2 with 2 minutes left to go in period number 1 up in Peterborough. Bouncing ball will end up in the crease of Thomas Kaising. I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out Andrew and Ariel watching as well. And everybody else tuning in. Aston. Far side, McPherson. Goes against the grain to get it back up top for Aston. Then the McPherson shot off the end boards. Two Beaches collide with each other, giving Tapper a chance to run it across the timeline. A minute left to go, just under that, in the double minor. Well, the double minors, I guess, the two minor penalties. Little John getting double teamed in front of the boards, in front of his bench. Lost the ball, came back up with it. It won't bounce out of the crease for him, though. And guys giving it up for perhaps one final shot here for the Beaches. 7.5 left to go in the period. Aston working it down to the corner. Back up top, Firth. Quick stick, they've tried it the whole power play set. And finally, after a minute and 48, it works to tie the game. Liam Aston backdoor. The benefactor is that one. 3 grads combining. Liam Aston on the goal from Willem Firth and Cal Brennan, who has a 3-assist night now. Soroketti released from the box. 11 seconds remaining in the unsportsmanlike penalty served by Faraday. Ryan Oldman. Oldman down the boards to Little John. Under 7 to go in the period. 5-5 the score. Off the power play marker. Matthew Ford spins back. No lane for him to go to the net. Friedman pushing him out wide. Little John misplayed it in the corner, thought he had it. Picked up by the Beaches though. Chase Smith. Sending it back in the direction of his bench. Firth back to Aston again. Looking to sneak one inside the post. Ended up shooting wide. And then Firth trying to beat the shot clock. Had one deflect off somebody back in front of Redlick's net. Hewitt the bouncer to Little John. Had a scare back in game number 4 when Little John was hit hard in the crease, stayed down, and actually spent some time with the trainer. Off the bench, here comes Martineau in transition on his wrong side, still with it. Julian Belair forced him the long way around the crease. Martineau still with it despite the crowd calling for a crease violation. Firth may have had a step on lead there. Mills setting a screen. The pass will be back to Lubinecki. Wheeled through in a combination of Soroketti and Lee, providing a hit there, meaning Lubinecki couldn't beat the shot clock. Jack Oldman for Little John. Back to Tryson Stewart. Little John has it again. Jesso setting a screen. Oldman, same story. Low shot. Save made Kazik, who gets up and is immediately looking down floor. Friedman was in on a partial breakaway, but stepping up to steal that one was Robinson. Tapper to the corner. That was Baxter feeding Weather up. Shot from a long way out. Kazik able to stretch and keep a foot back in the crease. Peterkin. Little stutter step to get past Baxter. 4.5 left to go now in the period. Tyler Francis Renner brings it down. Willem Firth. Francis Renner. Again down the boards. Aston. 5 seconds left for him and the Beaches to shoot. They'll give across to Firth, who does. Ended up falling, and then Lubinecki picked up the rebound while facing 3 Whitby defenders. Rolls it back to his captain. Firth, the head dodge. Back to Francis Renner. All the way back to Firth, who's come to the restraining line again. Outside shot down low on Redlick. He was already on his knees, ready to meet it. this series goes any further, Ben Cromer going to have no name bar left. Seems like every shift a little bit more comes off. Down to just the KRO. Here's Soroketti. Heads up Sean Grenier as that one came bounding off the end boards in a hurry. Soroketti looking to save the over and back. Did, as it deflected off a Beaches player, but Warnarski will bring it down at the shot clock. And now gets swarmed by Ethan Lee and Oldman. Although Oldman will pick it up facing a double team. What a play to get it out to Lee. And then Langio, hard outside shot, bounces wide of the net. And a few shoves in behind that net between Eberhard and Lee after their tough battle back at center. Down the boards, Beaches with it with less than 3 to play in the period. Brennan had the top corner and rang it off the junction. Owen Tapper plays it back for Weatherup. Tapper, quick stick, far side. Little John, perhaps too focused about staying out of the crease than ripping that one to beat Kazik, as that allowed the Beaches netminder to get off to his right and posture up against the shot. That never really came out of the stick of Little John. Moving screen here. Taylor goes down at the hands of Mills. Picked up by Justin Hewitt. He's out with Little John. Hewitt keeps and shoots. Hung on to there by Kazik, who went down to meet it. Aston's low shot. Redlick matching the same play from Kazik. I think Redlick may have been asking for them to change the ball. No seams here like you would see in baseball, so not sure, maybe there was a mark on it. Either way, Soroketti to Little John with the same pill. That one just misses. Langio back near center, nearly misplayed it. Lowers his shoulder into Peterkin. Now trying to beat the double team, going to draw a penalty as it bounces off of Kazik back towards the boards. Caden Hewitt got there first, and now everybody wants a piece of Ryan Langio. Initial penalty here coming to the Beaches, much to the delight of half of the Durham region. Warriors about to get their first power play. And this is just the size and the body of Langio, who missed the first game or two of that St. Catharines series. But once he returned, man, it was all kinds of stuff like this. And look, high stick and a face mask call coming to the Beaches. So after early of this period, Beaches scoring once on a 5-on-3 power play. Whitby will have their opportunity with 1:27 left to go here in the period. Tied up at 5. Series lead in the hands of the Beaches, 3-2. Tapper will be the safety valve back at center. It'll be effectively a 4-on-3 set with Weatherup on the crease. Little John Soroketti, who finds a space and completes the hat trick. Just that quick. 13 seconds to be exact for Soroketti. Tryson Stewart not going to get an assist here. But another big red product providing a big pick to allow Soroketti to walk around and complete his hat trick. Not ready for his junior career to end here this evening. Power play continues for the Warriors. 1:35 left in that, just over a minute left in the period. Whitby would love to take a 2-goal lead into the locker room. Little John Soroketti from up top. That bounced off a defender. Belair, Soroketti, Little John, no shot. Tryson Stewart turns and fires. That one hits a defender as well. Only 2 to shoot. Kazik with the stop. Rebound at the feet there of Belair. Couldn't hang on to it, and he got tripped up. And now it will be brought over center by Warnarski. About a 10-second difference. Game clock over shot clock. So Beaches probably take this all the way down, and then I would expect timeout to be called by Whitby, who still have both in their pocket. Firth mishandles the ball well cutting through. Timeout not going to be called. Jack Oldman rushing his way in. Now here's Soroketti doing the same thing, a number of moves as he crosses in front of the crease. Last second shot from Little John off of Kazik, who makes the stop into the end glass. As you were on your way to the rooms after one, Warriors lead by 1 with their season on the line. They'll have an abbreviated power play when we come back for the final 20 minutes here from Whitby. It's either a Game 7 tomorrow night or it's the Beaches headed to the OJLL finals. We'll find out which one of those when we come back. You're watching the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League semifinals from Iroquois Park Sports Center in Whitby.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Yeah, let's go. Raise up one time. Go get it. It's yours. Let's shine. Come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
Another tight one here between the Beaches and the Warriors. 6-5 Whitby. After 2 periods here in this all-important game number 6, Willem Firth now up to second in the playoffs. Coming into the evening, 43 points. Lucas Littlejohn with 39, he's third, and then Gabriel Soroketti, 32. We've been following those 3 superstars as they've played throughout this series. Can let you know on the out-of-town scoreboard, Orangeville up 5-4 on Peterborough. They are just underway, I believe, in the second period. 4 minutes gone there. And indeed, Orangeville are providing that one. Hornhead Streams, if you have another device, or at the end of this one. 6-5 Whitby. 6 goals off 39 shots for the Warriors. 5 off 25 for the Beaches. Both teams scoring twice in that period. Weather up from distance, trying to beat the shot clock. Just can't do it, and that'll allow Beaches to kill off the second half of what was a not quite a double minor. It was a 5-on-3 power play. Whitby scored on the first half, but not the second. Same story for the Beaches, who had the same opportunity back in that second period. A bouncer there just over the shoulder of Redlick, who stands tall. Jack Oldman trailing in behind Owen Tapper. Trying to reach past Kazik. And ran through the crease, chasing down the loose ball in the corner. Caswell Friedman giving it to Aston. He'll play it through Tyler Francis Renner. Josh Mills. Hamish McPherson. No Willem Firth this set, but Liam Aston bounces a shot wide. Caught on the back of the stick of Mills. He'll play it through to Hunter Lubinecki, who was able to just beat the shot clock, but everybody else had headed off, so Luke Robinson brings it up. Lucas Littlejohn to the outside, Trayson Stewart. Through Julian Belair, and now to Lucas Littlejohn from the corner. That shot off a leg. Bounced right back into the stick of Zach Vanderwall. Owen Tassi misplayed that in front of his own bench. It's going to roll up to Julian Belair, who picks it up, gets chopped down, lost the ball in the process. Willem Firth there to pick up, gets a reset, and fires it off the post in behind Redlick, who came all the way to the top of the crease. Now Firth knocked down, over to say hi. Wojnarski on Belair. Cromer gonna go break that conversation up. I think Riley O'Connor was looking for a penalty. Willem Firth has the ball. Outside there. Nice job done by the defender Baxter to not take a penalty. Lubinecki may have gone through the crease, not called as the rebound drops back down for Max Weatherup. Again, what a rookie season for Weatherup. What a playoffs as well, if not for play of Max Kruger in Orangeville this season. Probably can make a case for Rookie of the Year. Soroketti will bring this down. Low down on Kazik, who was in the rocking chair, and it gets kicked out. Back to Martineau. Closing in on 700 live viewers, including a fan of the commentator. Appreciate that comment. Francis Renner around a scramble that includes a fall in Liam Aston getting up slowly. Here's Mills over the top. Off the arm of Redlick. That might have hit the official as it comes back. In and out of the stick of Hamish McPherson. Still battling over possession, and indeed they do call it over and back. Oldman, along with 2 other Warriors. Oldman shoots, and Kazik with the stop. They're pointing up floor. Although Chase Smith was by himself at center, with a couple Whitby defenders back. Not sure what the sense of urgency there was. Brennan to the outside, Lubinecki. Here's Firth. He'll take it back to top position. Ended up firing off the end glass. He'll get a second chance with 5 on the shot clock. This one hits the target. Rebound picked back up. Chase Smith going to bring it back towards his bench where gives to Josh Mills, then heads off. Tyler Francis Renner to McPherson. Back to Firth. Strong lefty side. A lot of bodies to open space for either Mills or Firth. They end up passing it back towards Francis Renner. And Justin Hewitt got a piece of that to force a loose ball and a shot clock violation against Whitby, who had a man, Trayson Stewart, in behind everybody wide open. Stewart was calling for it, but now going to turn back. Looked like he was in the direction of the bench. Stewart to Littlejohn. Ryan Langill, low shot. One off of either Kazik or Mander. Peterkin then mishandled it. Looking for a cutting Warnarski. It's intercepted by Littlejohn. Ty Jesso still with it. Bounces it across to Weatherup. Littlejohn up there as well for Whitby. Ty Jesso coming back in. Warriors going to slow things down. Soroketti hopping his way across the restraining line. Littlejohn to the cutting forward. It's in the back of the net. A trio of overagers congratulating a pair of rookies here. Max Weatherup with a great season. Matthew Ford, again, the somewhat surprising trade deadline acquisition for the Warriors from Peterborough. Absolutely lit up Junior B this season and going to be a problem here in this loop for a while if he continues his play like that. Littlejohn does get his 4th assist of the game. Ty Jesso his 2nd. On Matthew Ford's goal that makes it 7-5 for Whitby, the largest lead for either side here tonight. Matching an earlier Beaches 2-goal margin. Oldman from the restraining line will pull it back out to the outside. Cross floor, Soroketti already with a hat trick. Kazik looking for it after the stop. It's in the stick of Oldman, still out there with the draw twig. Weatherup, one-on-one with the defender. Second shot clock, Weatherup all alone in front. Kazik goes down, what a stop. Weatherup taken down in the corner looking for the loose ball. That's going to roll all the way back up top to Littlejohn. Soroketti with it. And the net is way off kilter. So a whistle for some housekeeping, and nice to be in this barn without some wipe downs, I must say, with the turf. Now, yes, does say New York Riptide here in Whitby, I understand. Littlejohn, sidearm rip. Kazik, thought he had it caught underneath him, and it just squirted through the right arm in a slashing call in behind the play. Soroketti's headed off again. Thank you, Kyle Coulter. Soroketti for slashing, 2nd time tonight, and 2nd time it's been well away from the play. So Gabriel Soroketti. Beaches 1 for 2 on their power play. Same story, Warriors. Although both of those power plays were 5-on-3 to start with. Firth taking top spot here. He'll pass off to Mills. Cromer may have deflected that before it hit off Redlick. Still recovered by the Beaches. No look pass here for Mills. And again, Cromer may have got a piece before it's in the back of the net. 26 seconds of power play time for the Beaches to pull back within 1. Willem Firth's third point. Redlick asked for time to sort out his mask after the play. Willem Firth, 3 points. Cal Brennan, 3 assists. Josh Mills, 2 and 1. After a 4-goal performance back in game number 5. Part of the 9-4 win for the Beaches in Pickering. Tyler Francis Renner to Firth. Working it through Aston down towards the corner. Mills. He'll stay outside the restraining line. Pushing it back to the corner. Firth through the middle. Shot so hard it took the left glove off the hand of Redlick. He's got it back on and going to stand up for another barrage perhaps. Aston's offering into the summer stick. Owen Lee runs right past Firth. On his way to Toronto's bench. Weather up. Pulls it back. Through Little John now. One-on-one. Ford from the outside. Hat-trick watches on for the youngster. Little John gets it just inside the halfway line and scoring from Oshawa. Lucas Littlejohn. Oh my. A rare one with an odor for Kaisick. From center floor, Littlejohn. Here's Stewart. Back for Oldman. Warriors think they're starting to run downhill. 10 left on the shot clock. We'll see what Littlejohn's got for an on-car. Pulls it back down. Shot through pair of defenders. Littlejohn's going to shake one as Stewart couldn't get a shot off before the shot clock, excuse me. 8-6 now, Whitby. Up a minute away from the halfway mark of this third period. Firth, no room to shoot. He'll put it out to the far boards. Backing out is McPherson. Again, they go to the right side. Aston's low shot caught cleanly by Redlick. He'll give off here to Robinson. Gaining center. Had Taylor and Soroketti. Elected to go to the defender. Now Ford. Back to Soroketti. Belair and Gesso. Trying to work a two-man game. Turn pass a little late. Back to the far side. Soroketti took a chop just as he received the ball. May have knocked it free. And then Soroketti runs over his man. Carter Smith right at the shot clock. Riley Smith all the way out to the dasher of his own bench. Riley O'Connor, excuse me. Firth. Recovering possession. We are indeed in the back half of this final regulation time period. Firth. Scoots away from Owen Lee. Back to Tyler Francis Renner. His shot off of Redlick. Weather up with the rebound. Turns it back up floor. Jogging his way across center. Big head fake on Owen Tassi. Pass over the head of Littlejohn. And headed back in Whitby's direction. Clock didn't stop there on the whistle, and this was a topic of conversation last time in this building for game number 4. Officials will put 12 seconds back on for 9:29 and a fresh 30 seconds here for the Beaches. Francis Renner coming up to throw the screen for Aston. The return pass bounces off of Justin Hewitt, who will then pick it up. Oldman stopped at the timeline initially by Mills. Mills able to pull it free, but then push it forward. No over and back as it was off the Beach's stick. Julian Belair has it, still on the Warriors shot clock though. Belair crunched by a double team, delayed penalty coming up. Julian Belair is upright. Redlick on the bench. Tryson Stewart flips here to Sorketti. Outside shot hits a defender, and the shot clock will sound and will get the penalty as Belair bends over, still feeling the effects of this hit into the boards. David giving us an update in chat as we get the cross-checking call here that it is now 7-4 for the Orangeville Northmen. Chance for them to dispatch the Peterborough Junior Lakers tonight. Also game number 6 in that series. The other way you can follow along is by downloading the official Ontario Junior Lacrosse League app from your favorite app store, or by visiting OntarioJuniorLacrosse.com for all your schedules, stats, and scores from around the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League playoffs. If there is a Game 7 in the Orangeville series tomorrow, it is back in Orangeville at 8 o'clock. Our crew will be there. If there is a Game 7 in this series tomorrow, it is 8 o'clock in Pickering. Unfortunately, our crew unable to get there for that one. Still in conversation with building and other teams, and a lot going on behind the scenes. Bouncer from Sorketti. Wide of the net, Sorketti does well to dive and save the play. Julian Belair back here for Weatherup, his shot around the defender. Forced Kazik into a stop. The third power play of the game here for Whitby. Same story as the Beaches. Their first one came in the second period on a 5-on-3. Firth with the ball now. Everybody in white pointing out their guys. As this will be played to the far boards. 10 left of the shot clock. Firth puts an offering into the legs there of Redlick. He'll just sit upon it. And rebound comes up to Robinson. Officially a cross check on Josh Mills. The reason for this third power play for the Warriors. Weatherup and Sorketti playing catch. Stewart already down in the corner on that left side. Little John goes to Belair as everyone has touched it now. 5 left to shoot. Little John fake low, went high. Rebound back in front. Weatherup picks it up and scores again. There's a saying in auto racing that red gloves go faster. I think we can say the same about kicks. Max Weatherup picking this one up in front of the crease. And Kazik had not yet recovered from the initial shot. And down into the supporter section, in behind the Beaches net. 3-goal lead for Whitby, the largest for either team here this evening, and it belongs to Whitby with 7.5 to go. Little John with 5 assists on a 6-point night. Jack Oldman, face-off twig. Passes to Langiel. High-stepping forward. Shoots from the outside. That hit a body on its way through to the corner. Now picked up by Peterkin. David Peterkin towards the center, in and out of the stick of Caden Hewitt. Hewitt backpedaling. Martineau, better watch out for him. He's got red sneakers too, and a goal in this game. To the outside corner. Brennan, no room to run. McPherson, low 5-hole, wide open. And the ball slides through. 2-goal game yet again. Hamish McPherson. You can see Redlick looked like he was good initially when he set up, but then forcing him to step to his right, stick a little bit out of position, and that's just enough for a shooter like Hamish McPherson to find the back of the net. 9-7 Beaches, despite the fact that they've got 2 chances to close this one out coming into the evening, not going to go quietly into this good and hot night. Another 30-plus degrees Celsius day here in southern Ontario. Oldman, a little bit of a give and go there. Lost, was the defender who lost his stick as Oldman was cutting through. Shot missed the mark. Weatherup's got it again from the outside. Restraining line, Max Weatherup. Round the screen from Oldman, shoots on the run. Again, looking down low on Kazik, but this time had everything square. 6 minutes left to go in this 2-goal game. Josh Mills. He's on hat-trick watch. Cutting through Firth. Faked high, went low. Redlick had a peek behind him. Ball underneath of the Alberta-born goaltender. Robinson cuts underneath Amander. He's calling out who's got who. Langiel off the bench. Ford back to Little John. He'll drag it into the corner. Takes a defender with him, opening a shot for Belair, who did so over top of Caden Hewitt. Brought the rebound down. Wojnarski feeding the trailing Firth, who got dumped into the crease. That forced the shot up and into the safety netting. Closing in on 5 minutes left to go. 2 timeouts for Whitby. 1 left for the Beaches. They took theirs in the first period. Little John. Stewart off the bench. In behind him is Ty Jesso. Soroketti. The return pass. No Little John on this set. Excuse me, there he is. Captain of the Warriors. Soroketti back to Little John. Low shot. Kazik again looking around. Squirted through his legs. Weatherup all tied up there with Owen Tassi on the way through. Boy, oh boy. Nearly another one that squeaks through the feet of Kazik. Oldman over center. Little John to Ford. Crowd want Matt Ford to shoot. He'll give it to Belair instead. Julian Belair. His shot rising over top of the net. Sent Kazik ducking for cover. And now the shot clock will sound here against Whitby. Julian Belair had a 5-goal game in the decider to bring Whitby here into this semifinal series. In all alone, Mills off of Redlick. Big rebound for Firth and another big stop. Perhaps Redlick's best of the night. Back at center, look out here. Ethan Lee backing into a double team. Getting hacked and whacked. Gonna bounce it back through to Soroketti. From his wrong side of the floor, not gonna matter. Gabriel Soroketti's 4th. After a huge stop the other way by Redlick, it's Soroketti. And boy, oh boy, the Whitby cheering section behind the net getting their money's worth of celebrations tonight. 10-7 now, Whitby. Oldman, clean face-off win back to Owen Lee. 3-goal deficit for the Beaches on a night when they can move on. 12 grads for the Warriors, hoping that's not the case. Little John. One of those. Weather up, back across, on his toes for it. He'll play it back to Lucas Littlejohn, feeding it through to Jesso, who cut through. Max Weatherup, hard after the loose ball, gonna win it and get dumped in the corner. Official's arm is high again. Tapper going in to say something. Weatherup got back up, and now we've got Langiel jumping in. This was going to be a power play for the Warriors, and I think that's what Littlejohn is saying, trying to keep the peace. Doesn't want to see one of his guys go off. Chase Smith going to be called here initially for this hit coming into the corner. Oh, I mean, on the numbers in the vicinity of the boards, can't really argue it. And I would guess 2 minutes for cross-checking, and Kyle Coulter and the officials agree. The fourth power play of the game, 2 for 3 coming in. Redlick on the whistle, took off to the bench. But now he's got to go back in the net. Weatherup looks like he's going to start with this ball just inside his center. Littlejohn down in the corner, Belair. Sorchetti and Stewart. All 5 have touched it now, with Weatherup staying outside the restraining line. Looks like no sense of urgency here for the Warriors, but Littlejohn back across Sorchetti now with 5 to shoot. A little bit more movement. Sorchetti going to spin back, looks down low on Kaisik. Rebound in the stick of Caleb Ander. Got twisted around, a bit of oohing and ahhing, expecting a penalty there, none upcoming. Liam Aston comes in, closing in on the 2-minute warning. Beaches with work to do and may have to do it shorthanded. Oldman steals the ball away and going to clear center from Hamish McPherson. He'll skip it back to Owen Lee. Littlejohn has a peak of the clock. Less than a minute left here in the power play. A goal here. You could probably mark it in pen that there will be a game 7 tomorrow. Littlejohn from the restraining line, low shot. Kaisik keeps it there against the left leg. 38 seconds left in the power play. Minute 25 to go in regulation time, and timeout will be called by the Beaches. This their final one. Of the game, 2 left on the side of Whitby. Pardon me, trying to just check the out-of-town scores here for the update out of Orangeville. 8-7. Oh, pardon me, 8-4. Orangeville over Lakers. Looking at the wrong game. Max Kruger, 5 of those 8. For the Orangeville Northmen, game 6 there. A lot of chatter, a lot of screaming, a lot of pointing. It'll be a 5-on-5 set with the goaltender out. McPherson out to the outside. Josh Mills keeping it away from pressure. Outside shot, Aston picked up. Ethan Lee rushing back to the net is Matthias Houlihan. That's not Kaisik. So at the top of your screen, the white bucket for the young Nepean Knights Junior B goaltender. Look out, Littlejohn swarmed by Chase Smith coming out of the penalty box. Oldman picks up the loose ball as we hit the last minute. Out from the outside, Ford lifts it in on Houlihan, who did start for the Beaches in their first game of the season, a big win over the St. Catharines Athletics. Here's Martineau with Houlihan back to the bench. Mills, 22 seconds left, looking for a miracle. Martineau in the legs of Redlick, pulls it off the line and immediately looks up floor on a bounce. A second one and just misses to Stein Redlick. Quickly up the center, Beaches from distance. And a tie up in the middle. Bomb down and they're going to score. Last second. I don't think that was Redlick. As there was talking going on in front of the crease, someone picked it up and bombed it into the empty net. Thomas Kaiser going to be the first Beaches player off the floor here. Everybody else in white starting the celebration as they're going to win. Going to wave off the goal, it looks like. Tyden Redlick coming over to make sure it counts and handshakes for the goaltenders, but 10-7 is going to be your final score. Either way, Whitby Warriors force a game 7 tomorrow. And I remind you, at this time, no internet in the building at the Pickering Recreation Complex. Beach's normal home rink is Ted Reeve Arena. They were kicked out of there because the ice going in, hard to play lacrosse on ice. So they moved to Pickering and working to see all potential scenarios for the finals. But as it stands tomorrow, we'll not be able to bring you Game 7. Unfortunately, be sure to follow at the OJLL, on social media. Subscribe to this YouTube channel where we'll have all the playoff action throughout the rest of the playoffs. 10-7 your final. Game 7 tomorrow night in Pickering. 8 o'clock start time there. A reminder, also ongoing tonight, Orangeville 8-4 right now in the second period on Peterborough, with a chance to knock the Lakers out of contention and go to back-to-back Ontario finals. Download the official Ontario Junior Lacrosse League app from your favorite app store, or visit OntarioJuniorLacrosse.com for updates from that series and the rest of that game, and of course schedules for when the OJLL finals become official. On behalf of our producer tonight, Gary Morrison, our director, Chris Main, the JVI Sports Network, and the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League, my name is Matthew Carrick, and we will then talk to you when those finals begin here in the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League. Good night from Whitby.